Welcome back to Base Sunday. The 5-time Emmy-winning PBS series Independent Lens is kicking off with some great stories to tell you. This season, it will be showing off 23 documentaries. We want to welcome series producer Lois Vossen, as well as the producer of Have You Heard from Johannesburg, Connie Field. Good morning to you, ladies.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Now, what an amazing amount of stories to tell. Why don't you give me just a little bit of an overview, maybe a couple of your favorites that are going to be airing on PBS?
Well, that's always hard to do, of course, with 23 remarkable films, but a couple come to mind. One that I think is going to be a fan favorite, if you will, These Amazing Shadows. It looks at the National Film Registry and the great films that have come to be archived and the importance of cinema in our culture. We also have a remarkable documentary called Hell and Back Again, which looks at a soldier coming back from Afghanistan and post-traumatic stress. And there have been a lot of films about war and a lot of films about the war in Afghanistan, but this film is really, really unique in that the reporter was not a filmmaker at the time. He was a New York Times reporter who rigged a camera and followed the soldier in Afghanistan, and then when he came back and went through the usual trials that soldiers go through when they come back wounded.
And what I think is amazing about the documentaries that you feature on PBS is that it gives a really different perspective than you see in most films or through most television programs. And one of them is the series that Connie is doing, Have You Heard from Johannesburg? And she is the only one who has a multi-part series, right?
Yeah, the other films are individual films that are either an hour long or sometimes a little longer than that. But Connie's film is really unique because it's 5 parts, as you said, and it's an extraordinary look at the history of the apartheid movement around the world.
Okay, and Connie, you said you met Nelson Mandela. This movie is about apartheid, and that's how you got started in this.
Well, I didn't meet him. I went to see him.
Okay.
In Oakland, California, when he was here in 1990. It was an incredible event. I mean, I don't know how many people out there were there, but it's one of those events you don't forget. He filled the whole stadium. It was just fantastic. But it was the person I went to that with was an old friend who actually, we were having dinner. I just finished a film on the civil rights movement, and I was thinking about what to do next, and he said, "Oh, why don't you do the anti-apartheid movement?" And so I figured, oh, okay. I mean, and it made sense to me because it's the most global human rights struggle we've ever had. And people, the whole world was involved. And in a way, it's like a story of the world's march to some kind of global morality.
It's really amazing. I just want to show a clip real quickly because I want the viewers to see what you've been able to put together.
Up forever, or else you'll go to jail for life.
A 35-year campaign of people acting when their government would not. People across the world struggling together to end a crime against humanity. Have you heard from Johannesburg?
Black History Month, you find ridiculous.
All right, so Connie, what did you learn with this? Must have been a really personal journey for you as well, just even in starting this journey here in the East Bay and then following this through the end.
Well, it took a long time. I worked on it for over 10 years. That's because the story hadn't been told in any other form, and it wasn't like a book you can read. And so you were discovering really what happened. And I filmed it all over the world and got to meet incredible people. It's an amazing story how people in New Zealand dedicated 25 years of their life to this. And what I loved about the story is that the thing that really gives me hope that we can change the world is people's ability to stand up for themselves and their dignity in the face of really immense horrors, the strength of that, and the fact that people in other parts of the world can care enough about it to dedicate their life to someone else's freedom.
To care about strangers, and I think that's what really struck me too when I was just watching clips from your incredible series. So you've got to check out, there's so many great, not only documentaries, but of course Connie's series as well on PBS. So we want to say thank you to Lois and Connie. You can catch PBS Independent Lens Film Festival. It's on now through June. It's on every Thursday night. So if you need more information on the series, just visit pbs.org/independent lens. And if you want to see Connie's film, Have You Heard from Johannesburg? It starts January 12th. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back with more here on Bay Sunday after this.